Things to the NFL, where there were some big names to miss the NFL postseason last year. You are looking at all the teams who failed to play in the postseason in 2024-2025. Safe to say that a lot of them are looking for a bounce-back season, and our Super Bowl champ, Bryant B-Mac McFadden, has his eye on a couple of teams he is expected to play in the postseason this year. I will tell you all at home, there is one team on this list that may surprise you. But B-Mac, we're going to start with the 49ers. Not a surprise to expect to see them in the postseason. Last year just kind of felt like an anomaly. They dealt with so many injuries. But now they're back. They've offloaded a lot this offseason. Why do you anticipate them being back in the postseason?
Well, I expect the San Francisco 49ers, Haley, to be healthy, something they did not have a year ago in 2024, which led to a disappointing season. Yes, they moved on from Deebo Samuel, but this still will be a very, very talented roster. You look at Jawan Jennings, having a healthy Brandon Ayuk will actually help, not to mention year two with Ricky Pearsall, who was able to show up with some flashes here or there in his rookie campaign when he was healthy. And then not to mention the catalyst that gets everything going for them, Trent Williams back on the offensive line as well, along with Christian McCaffrey. We're talking about notable names on the offensive side of the football that missed time a year ago because of injuries. They're healthy. Not to mention, you look at their schedule right on time. When you get the graphic there, the first 4 ball games is very, very important. They have an opportunity to get off in a really, really good situation with the 4 games that you see. Seattle, New Orleans, Arizona, Jacksonville. It's safe to say they will be the favorites in all 4 of those ball games. So if they can get off to a good start, that can really help their case in finishing in a good situation to be able to get into the postseason, something that they missed in 2024.
Yeah, I was looking down at the drop note there on that schedule. The 49ers have the easiest strength of schedule since the 2015 Falcons, so I hope they're a postseason team this year. They open it against the Seahawks on September 7th. Let's talk about the Bears, B-Mac, because Chi-Town was banking on a better season with Caleb Williams behind center, but it is safe to say that year one did not go as planned. It was a promising start, and then the Hail Mary that changed everything against the Commanders sent the Bears on a 10-game losing streak to end the season. Why do you believe that year two will be different for the Bears?
Well, let's start with the coaching, right? You got one of the more coveted names that was available in Ben Johnson to be your head coach, and you know he will have his imprints all throughout this offense. Then they were able to revamp the offensive line, right? Adding Drew Dalton, Joe Thuney, Jonah Jackson, 3 more than serviceable offensive linemen that have an abundance of experience to help the Achilles heel from 2024 in protecting the young quarterback in Caleb Williams. And then you look at Dennis Allen. You can say whatever you want to say, Haley, about his inability to be a really, really good head coach. You do not question Dennis Allen as a coordinator. He will be over the defensive side of football. I love the personnel. And I know people are saying, well, B-Mac, what about the NFC North? It's a very, very difficult division. Once again, it will be. And yes, I agree with that. But I can see the NFC North repeating what they did last year, Haley, and getting 3 teams, having 3 teams make the playoffs. I'm not ready to give a prediction of who I think will miss the playoffs, but I do believe we could easily see 3 teams from the NFC North make the playoffs. And I do believe the Chicago Bears, with the addition of the new revamped coaching staff, with some of the additions they made on the offensive line, especially on the defensive side of football, will help them improving their chances to get into the tournament in 2025. It's going to be a very, very difficult task. You know, year one with a rookie head coach, you know, there are some growing pains, but I think he has more than what he needs to be able to have a successful rookie campaign, similar to what we saw in Washington in terms of getting to postseason play.
I'm sure Bears fans at home are listening to you and begging this to come true, because they've had 4 straight seasons with 10 or more losses. That's tied for the longest streak in franchise history. The Bears will open the season against the Vikings on Monday Night Football, so the bright lights right away for Caleb Williams. Their first 2 preseason games, though, B-Mac, are coming against the AFC East, which takes us to New England. Some people might be surprised to see the Patriots making your list, B-Mac, given all things that we've seen over the last few years. Kind of similar to the Bears, though. They got a new coach. They've got some new weapons. And I saw Drake May play against the Dolphins last year. I'm convinced, but tell the people at home why you're convinced that the Patriots can be a playoff team.
Well, let's start with the coaching. Outside of Sean McDermott, Coach Vrabel is the second best coach in their division in the AFC East. You know, there's no debate about that when you look at his experience and his consistent regimen in winning ball games. That's number one. Number two, they probably have the second best total roster in the AFC East. When you look at the additions they made via free agency, having the most money in cap space, and then look at the additions they made via the draft. The only team that you probably would take over the New England Patriots is the Buffalo Bills. So when you look at those two entities, no question, I think they would be more than a serviceable team. Not to mention, you don't know what you're going to get from divisional foes in the Miami Dolphins, and the same can be said for the New York Jets. It's basically a one-team division right now, and with Buffalo being the top of the charts. And then when you look at their schedule, look at the first 8 games. You have the Raiders, Miami, Steelers, Panthers, Bills, Saints, Titans, Browns. Outside of Buffalo and Pittsburgh, New England has more than a fighting chance. And if you're telling me in that 8-game stretch that they're able to be 6-2, or even 5-3, that is a great situation to be in the first month and a half of the season as you get ready for that middle stretch and finishing off in December football. So I love the schedule. I love the additions that they made, not just in the draft, but a new sense of veterans in the locker room that can really help their development all on the football field. I love everything about what I'm seeing from New England, and I do believe Drake May will continue to take steps in the right direction, because if he continues to do that, no question, this should be an entertaining season for the Patriots.
Do they win a playoff game, B-Mac? Yes or no?
Ooh. I gotta wait and see how it plays out, but I can just say this right now, just seeing this team on paper, granted, you gotta play the game. I think they have a fighting chance because you look at their division. It's the Buffalo Bills and who else?
I know.
They have a great chance to be number 2 in that division with ease, in my opinion.
All right, so we'll wait and see if the Patriots can steal a playoff win this year. B-Mac, I got to be honest with you. Our next topic is the Cowboys. You know how I feel about America's team. I was just telling our producer upstairs, Stryker, that this is the first time in a while that I have felt cautiously optimistic going into a season. I'm usually pretty pessimistic given what the Cowboys do each and every year. Lige Douzable has been trying to get me on board, but I feel like I am. I brought my good luck Cowboys candle today as well, B-Mac. So give me more good luck here. Why are my Dallas Cowboys going to be in the postseason this year?
But first and foremost, Haley, why do you have a good luck candle? What luck has that candle brought you in the Cowboys?
It hasn't. And honestly, I can't get it open because my hands are sweaty, but it's never been lit. So maybe that's why we haven't had any good luck, because I've never lit it. But this is a really great gift from my Cowboys family when I left working from the team. And so I keep it on my desk. It says it smells like a Cowboys win. We'll see. But tell me why. Can we get a playoff win this year, maybe?
Well, before we jump to winning playoff games, let's talk about trying to get into the playoffs,
Fair.
Right? And I do believe the Cowboys could be that team that missed the playoffs in 2024, but make the playoffs in 2025 because you have a healthy quarterback in Dak Prescott. You can say whatever you want to say about the playoff woes, right? That's a real thing associated with the Dak Prescott. But in terms of regular season football,
I know.
Hey, in terms of regular season football, he plays great football. And the playoff woes are not all about Dak Prescott. It's a total team effort. But when you talk about having a healthy Dak Prescott, remember the last time we saw him fully healthy was in 2023. He threw for 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, completed almost 70% of his passes. He was in that MVP conversation, and they won double-digit games. I do believe they will have a successful season. When you look at what he has in terms of pass catchers, this will be the best tandem of wide receivers Dak Prescott has ever had while being the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Jake Ferguson is more than a serviceable tight end in terms of commanding action in the scenes. This offensive line would be better as well. And you can say whatever you want to say about the notable names or the lack thereof at the running back position. Javonte Williams, remember his rookie year, he went for over 1,000 yards. He just dealt with some injuries. But if the passing game can do what we believe they can do with the personnel that I named, it will actually help the running game. And oh, by the way, defensively, you cannot forget about what they have. They still have some dudes that can play high-level football. And the same thing I said about Dennis Allen, I will repeat about Matt Eberflus. You can say whatever you want to say about his ability to be a really, really good head coach. You would never question his mindset as a DC. He is a defensive coordinator. He has an abundance of experience. And I believe the Cowboys will have a successful season, enough for them to get into the playoffs. And then people will say, what about Philly? Well, Philly is in a league of their own. right? Not just in the NFC East, Haley, but in the entire NFL, in my opinion. But outside of that, the Cowboys have a fighting chance because, correct me if I'm wrong, Cooper Rush took care of his business against the Commanders, right? And right now, the Commanders are the odds favorites to be at least the second best team in the NFC East. Well, they split with the Dallas Cowboys without Dak Prescott. So I think the Cowboys will have a fighting chance, especially if they have health on their side, to win enough games to get into the playoffs. Now, ask me about playoff wins in December, but I don't know what that look like now, but in December, I'll have an answer for you then. But in terms of getting to the playoffs, yeah. Let's go, Jerry. Y'all got it.
I'm going to light this candle post-bye because we just saw the schedule of what the Cowboys are going to have to deal with after they come back from the bye week. It's going to be tough. So I'm going to keep my candle close to my chest. B-Mac, I will see you out at Cowboys training camp. I'm so excited to hang out with the fellas. And let's go. America's team. Maybe we're going to the Super Bowl. Who knows? I'm not going to go that far.